let me ask you. I want to find a visual for this. Uh, January, February, March, April,
What's that?
9/23/83. Minor Threat plays with Trouble Funk
And the big boys at
and the big boys, right?
Landsberg. Yeah.
Here we
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
Why did it end here? Could you give us a little perspective on that?
Well, we had gone back to being a 4-piece, and over the summer we were practicing and working on songs, and we just didn't agree on the direction of the music. Honestly, like I think first off, we formed the band as kids, so we always argued. We always argued. That was normal.
Everybody, all four guys,
Oh yeah, we all had. Yeah, it was all yeah.
It was a melee.
Yeah, it was smart. We were smart asses and defensive and all that kind
and
of
instigators, and we got it all.
So now, to be clear, we didn't know this would be our last show. There was certainly not we didn't know. We didn't go into it knowing it would be our last show. I think probably some of us went into it thinking it might be our last show because we were not getting along. And one of the big dilemmas we had run into was that there was a difference in where to go with the music. And I just couldn't deal with the kind of music they were thinking about, the stuff they were working on. I just couldn't sing to it. It didn't appeal to me. And it just didn't feel right to me. And we were we were at odds. So we did that show, and then we didn't talk for a few weeks. And then the beginning of October, I got a note saying that they were going to break up the band. So I said, well, you can't break up without me. So we had a meeting, and then we broke up. But we did go back in and record Salad Days a month after that. Even we went back and did Salad Days.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Was that actually recorded after?
Yeah, the band was broken up. Yeah, but Jeff Nelson, who of course lived here in Dischord House with me and is a co-owner of Dischord Records. Right. Jeff is a consummate archivist. Like he really wants stuff saved for posterity. And Salad Days was done. We had performed that song, and we'd performed Good Guys. And even Stumped, we even did that sort of like that kind of jam. We used to call it Brian's song. And so it was just decided that Jeff said, we got to record those songs because that's the only thing we don't have recorded. We got to go record those. And we argued about it because you guys fucking broke up the band. Like, but it was finally I agreed I would go record the song, but I wasn't gonna agree to put them out. But anyway, it took a while. It did come out finally in about
it came out like 2 years later, right?
Yep. Yeah, but it was but it's funny. I have a recording of that session where you can hear. It's basically the entire session. And at that point, Don had gone to an 8-track machine. And as a result, I could sing live. So Out of Step, for instance, that record, those vocals are live. There's no overdubs. That's all live vocals. And it's just as something I think is interesting. The song Look Back and Laugh on Out of Step, that's the first time I ever sang that song. Never practiced it with them ever. I had sung it along with a cassette recording of a practice tape. And so then we would go in, and that was our take one. That was the first time I said, stop there. That's all we need right there. That's the one. And so then Salad Days, the vocals are live. So I have this tape where we do, take after take after take after take of Salad Days. There's probably 12, even because some of them we stop halfway through, but I'm singing for keeps every time. And it's pretty fascinating to hear. It's an interesting, you can tell that even though we had broken up, we were really trying, we're going to do well. I think, again, we really were committed to precision and making shit sound good.
Yeah, and there's a couple things on that record. There's some acoustic guitar. There's some chimes, right? I mean, there's some different elements, right?
The acoustic guitar was done after the fact. Obviously, Lyle overdubbed those. Well, that was Lyle. He overdubbed that. I wasn't crazy about I mean, they're fine. Texturally, it's fine in retrospect. At the time, I sort of like, why? The chimes, that was Jeff Nelson. He he had this idea for the chimes, and he actually
Boing.
we fought so hard about that because he had to
Ooh.
rent the chimes. They were $70 or $75 or something like that to rent these 3 chimes. They're just tubes, by the way.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
like these pipes hanging from a wire,
yeah, yeah.
and he rented them. And $75 may not seem like a lot to people, but let me tell you something. Salad days cost $150 to make. So half the fucking money was spent on
On the
those
chimes.
chimes. Um, so mad.
Right.
Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it was $300 to make, but still, it was all. It's just. But anyway, people love the chimes. They're also out of tune, which is
I listened to it today, and I thought it,
yeah.
but it
Well,
holds it holds a special place in my heart. So it's like the early Clash stuff,
yeah.
right? It is, you know.
Well, what I can say about that song is that, and all my songs is that I meant it and I mean it.
Mm,
Those lyrics, I didn't fuck around. My lyrics are real, and I'm serious. So
absolutely.
that song, it's funny that song is me kind of sort of being kind of dismissive of nostalgia, the idea of nostalgia,
Right.
and sort of and 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 it's ironic because it's 1983, and I'm talking about punk rockers being like, "Oh man, back in the day," all this kind of stuff, and it ends. It says like it's a fucking lie, right? Because today is the day.
That's
Now's
right.
the time,
That's
and I
right.
don't mind. Like I have a good memory. I'm a person. I remember a lot of things. I feel I'm glad I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to have been alive. I think it's interesting when people I love to talk about things. If people are interested, I can answer questions. But I'm not a nostalgic person. I'm not sentimental. I don't look back and think, well, that was when it was good. Maybe it was good then, but it's good now is now.